Hello viewers and welcome to McElroy's Motors, and in today's video I have an update with my 2003 Ford Taurus. It is now sold, to a buddy of mine at least. My friend needed a work vehicle to get him back and forth to work, and he didn't give a damn of what the car's issues were. He just needed something that would get the job done, in which case this Taurus will do the job just fine. Plus, he's willing to spend the time and money to get this thing back up to code again, so that's one big relief off my shoulders. Plus, I really didn't need anything this big to begin with. I just have the added benefit of being able to carry 6 people in this thing, plus my grandmother's wheelchair in the trunk. That to me was a big plus, but right now, I really don't need a big car like this anymore. And even though this Ford Taurus was fantastic on long trips, offering a surprisingly comfortable highway ride, it definitely offers nothing in the way of fun. I like something that's a little fun, a little zippy, to which this Ford Taurus simply isn't. This is meant for a family, not for fun. Plus, if you look at it this way, I really don't need another project. I already got my Yellow Wonder as a project as it is. And as such, this Taurus, as it is right now, needs a new tire for the front left, and that's going to cost me another $100. Replacing all 4 is going to cost me at least $500 after tax, and I still have not replaced the crankshaft position sensor on it yet. The part itself is only like $35 at O'Reilly's, but to install it, it's going to cost me another $350 before tax. So all in, I'm around $1,000 just to keep this car semi-roadworthy. And here I am, driving this thing in the state of Ohio, where 1 of 7 counties that I currently live in require emissions testing, to which this car will currently fail it at this time. So realistically, if he wants to register in a county that does not require emissions testing, then this car will do the job just fine. This Ford Taurus is also just too big for my liking. It can carry 6 people in it pretty easily. I don't need to carry 6 people. I'm just a single guy with no children, so therefore I really don't need all these seats. But me personally, I just need something that's more frugal, more fun, and definitely more entertaining for you guys, because this Ford Taurus, even though it's been great on long distance trips, such as to the Court Auburn Duesenberg Museum in Auburn, Indiana, as well as to Fort Wayne, as well as to Hell, Michigan, this thing has definitely not as reliable as I thought it would be. The engine, the 3-liter Vulcan V6, has been absolutely fantastic, but the rest of the car simply hasn't been. I've driven it to Pennsylvania, I've driven it to Michigan, I've driven it to Indiana twice, I've driven it through the state of Kentucky, and overall, generally speaking, I definitely got my money's worth, covering over 6,500 miles in this thing in just under 10 weeks. So what do I look for in my new daily driver? Well, for one thing, I want something a little smaller than this. Something like a Ford Focus or Fiesta would be just absolutely perfect. I don't need anything that is too complicated, therefore it is not easy to modify, but just something smaller. I used to have a 1993 Ford Escort station wagon back in 2018, to which I only paid $1,200 for it, as you saw in my video of my overall car history part 2. And that car was absolutely fantastic. I also want something that's better on gas too, because even though the crankshaft position sensor is the reason why this car is not getting the best gas mileage that it could possibly get, I am only averaging maybe 18 miles per gallon on the highway in this thing. And that being said though, I want something that can easily achieve at least 25 to upwards of 40 miles per gallon without breaking a sweat. So I'm really looking for a small compact car just to get the job done. Something like a Scion, or maybe a Honda Fit or a Toyota Corolla would be just absolutely spot on when it comes to finding the absolute necessities that I need for my next daily driver. Something that is just the right size, nothing that is too difficult to see out of, which this thing currently is, because even though the visibility is good, it is hard for me to see out of it because it has no seat height adjustment. So when I'm driving it, all I see is steering wheel, wipers, windshield, and then nothing at all. It is quite a disconcerting feeling. Then you may ask, hey Nick, why don't you just get a cushion then? Well, for one thing, I'm lazy. I don't want to be seen driving while sitting on a cushion, even though I have to sit on the seats as it is. And secondly, it shouldn't be a problem in the first place. Last but not least, the guy who's buying this car from just needs something to get his family around too. He currently daily drives a Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck, and he just needs something that's a little bit more fuel efficient than a Silverado. And like I said before, he's willing to put the time, money, and investment into actually getting this thing back up to code again. So who knows? Maybe it'll last him a year. It could last him 3 years. But with 160,000 miles on this thing currently, who knows how long it'll actually last him. But at the same time, I'm glad it's going to him instead of me. But for $800, I can honestly say he got himself a really, really good deal. He could pay $1,500 for this car, and it'll still be a really, really good deal, despite me saying that I think I've overspent on this car. The more I thought about it, I didn't necessarily overspend on this car, but at the same time, I feel like for $1,500, even now, he got himself a really good car, because everything on this car still works as good as it should. The only thing that doesn't work are the rear window defroster and the windshield washer jets. Both are easy fixes. But everything on this car still works. The cruise control still works. The AC was recently recharged, so like an old Ford, it blows ice cold, and the heat works absolutely phenomenal. This car in general, it makes it a really good daily driver for someone on a shoestring budget. I just personally don't have the time, the money, or the patience to get involved with another project. So that's why I'm selling it to make money for another car, which I should have another car, hopefully within the next month or two. Thank God here in the city of Akron, public transportation is abundant. And with me getting $800 for this car, I can easily get enough bus passes to last me a whole year. And despite the bus system taking an extra 2 hours out of my day, it's really not that big of a deal for me, because I only work 8 to 10 hours a day in the first place. So yeah, that is the reason why I sold my Ford Taurus. It's not because I am sick of it, it's just the fact that someone just needed it. And the fact is, I think overall, generally speaking, I'm going to miss this car because of all the memories it has given me to me in the short time I have owned it. So in the meantime, if you'd like to see more videos of more vehicles that I will be owning in the future, as well as the Trabant that I currently own, feel free to subscribe to McElroy's Motors today, and I'll have more videos coming along soon.